mind that you've just entered seems to be outputting a variety of important memories. There also seems to be a strong signal coming from within it that appears to be in line with what we'd expect from the artifact, the item we're after to make you stronger. With dementia, it's often the patient's short-term memory that begins to falter first. We can use older memories as a seed to help rebuild and validate our patient's life story. The artifact should also help us to avoid another relapse, whilst allowing us to target the amyloid plaques that cause our patient's brain cells to die in the first place.
Hey, remember the old days? I'd call, you'd answer, we'd talk. After that, neither of us would have to worry about what was going on. It's a stupid question. I'm not trying to spy on you, but a status report would be good from time to time.
Well, I must say, I'd hoped this case would have been solved by now. I know, I should take some of the responsibility. But I have given you every resource imaginable to complete this restoration. Just remember that all of this funding is lost if you don't do your job effectively and find that artifact. Agitated. Not to worry though, they always get worse before they get better. With that said, I have been warned about, well, pushing these experiments too far. But I feel like I can trust you. You will keep this just between us.
Words echoed around the polished wooden room. 16 years old. You know what that means. Not many people ever saw the inside of that office. And the ones that had weren't around very long to talk about it.
This area is where a mill manager would run his operations. He spent most of his time looking down over the industrial area from his office. I've researched that an accident here halted all production in the mines for a time. I suggest you keep searching for anything that might be related.
We can't help you from here onward. What you do with yourself is up to you now. You can plan your own path. There's always work to be found around the mines. Most of you end up selling these, but it's meant to be a keepsake to remind you of your time here. We wish you all the best.
I'm referencing the diary once more, and this watch was a gift at the age of 16. As far as I can tell, it might represent a sense of freedom or realization of self-awareness in the world. When I strapped it to the patient's wrist, there was a positive reaction. Although unable to understand how to read the correct time, it was obvious to me that the sensation of the watch on the skin was well received.
Andrew turned to Harry, his face looking very serious now. "You'll have to go home, little man," he said, winking so that Rob couldn't see. "That's not fair. Why does he get to go and I don't?" moaned Rob. "'Cause he's too young to be out this late. Besides, we might be a while and he can help us sneak back in later." "Right. Off you go," Andrew pushed, winking again and then whispering into Harry's ear. "Just remember where we said." "Okay, Andy," he said trustingly. And so off little Harry ran, leaving just the two of them. As soon as Mr. Jefferson was finished, both boys began to make their way down to the docks.
I've placed 3 whole years of my life into this research. I have sacrificed so much. Patients with these specific symptoms of dementia and at this stage don't come along often. And to be told that after 3 years of hard work and waiting that I have only 9 days to yield the results they want. Who the hell do they think they are? It's not my fault. I can only work with the restorers I'm given.
It's not going to get any better. This isn't going to get any easier for anyone.
It says here that arsenic was a very useful byproduct of the tin refining process and is still used in many medicines and foods. The miners ground and burnt out any unwanted materials and then exported it for money. But in these quantities it was extremely lethal. Accidents here were often fatal. Let's find out what happened here.
Pumping the rest of the savings into hospital treatments won't make this all go away. It's starting to wear on all of us, grinding us down day by day. This would all be easier to deal with back in England.
experimentation, I've worked with some very good restorers. Yet, none of them had the heart or the mind to get as far as you. I hope that you succeed where the others have failed. Our chances of continued funding rely on this. You won't let me down now, will you?
Life is slower and easier. The savings could be spent on our retirement or living comfortably. Tell them tomorrow. They'll understand. This is the best thing for everyone.
Today was a difficult one. We're using a medical wristband that was kept from the hospital in America. I think that seeing a hospital band and being in a facility like this was very hard to comprehend. This time in life represents having to leave America and the life they made together. It can't have been easy to just pack up and leave as quickly as they did, and especially having to leave Jim behind. We're getting to the more recent memories now, and I feel that we're getting closer in every session. I'm going to make our sessions daily from now on, until we get a result.
A stadium almost full with screaming fans, his little eyes taking it in for the first time.
These cramped rooms were where the miners spent most of their time before going underground. It was like a community here. Records show that the mining wardens usually put a lot of undue pressure on the miners to meet quotas. It must have been a grueling job. Did I ever tell you about an old colleague who once worked on a series of classified experiments? They deprived subjects of sleep in an isolated room for 3 days, before instructing them to carry out a harmful act on another subject. Desperate for the sleep they were promised, they would instinctively carry out any command ordered by a lab coat, regardless of how immoral the action was. Funding was cut due to controversy, but still, don't you just think the human mind is fascinating?
The crack of a baseball bat and the entire stadium erupted. Moments later, another cheer. Stood clutching the ball tightly in one hand. Hey, this is for you. Hold on to it. Everyone else wants it, but it's yours now. Sat in the front stands, the view was perfect. I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
The dock was full of boat parts and cranes, old buoys, fishermen's gear, a creepy setting in the dark. Andrew lit an old oil lamp and gave it to Rob to hold. Here, take this and tell me if you see it. We're almost there. There was an old mine entrance that hadn't been used for many years, and had partially collapsed at some point, leaving only 30 yards or so still accessible. In you go, Rob, said Andrew confidently. I'm not going in first, Rob whispered somewhat aggressively. You've got the light, said Andrew, copying his tone. Well, then you have it. Stop being a baby, laughed Andrew. Get in there. Rob took a few steps at a time, slowly inching into the long tunnel, passing smaller tunnels that split off from the main path, but he didn't dare look down them.
Jim has been here again today. We've all sat together and talked about his childhood memories and events that shaped his life with his parents. Some slight progress there. On a related note, we've been given 1 month to show our hard data and prove that the therapy is making a significant difference. I can feel that acceptance is a real possibility now, but perhaps I need to push harder.
I like your handwriting. The lines on our faces may have changed, but our love remains as strong as the day we met. It's so creepy.
He is incredibly close to objective? Well, the readings are showing us that it's currently close to his location, and I'm certain he can do it. Yes, I promise you'll have the results soon. I won't let you down. Once it's located, I'll send him there straight away.
For richer, for poorer, for better or worse, in sickness and in health. No matter what comes our way, we'll always have each other.
My readings? Yes, it is. The artifact. Oh, how beautiful it is. Pick it up. Can you feel the power surge through you? This artifact allows us to link with our patient directly. It allows your powers to grow. Quick, try and restore something. Usually there's a clear indicator, an object or an image of something. Maybe a seal signifying the broken element of the memory.
You know, I hope this is the right decision. That's all.
You know exactly why this is the right decision, Jim.
I know.
But we've discussed this. The cost of treatment and care. It's too expensive.
You could stay here with me. You could get help here.
We'll miss you. Don't ever doubt that.
Well, look at that. Excellent work, Restorer. Now, once you've gathered the rest of the memory fragments in this area, we can tackle the second core memory. The artifact should give us enough strength to end this. Not many people know about observation. Simply put, I get my orders from them. I'm the one who works at the front line, with the restorers, whilst they remain behind closed doors. How can they possibly know the complexities and difficulties we face on a daily basis?
Love. Pure and simple.
It's such a shame that a condition such as this can have such devastating effects on the lives of so many. But they seem to have enjoyed each other's company to the fullest whenever possible. And that's an inspiring thought. I think the way in which Jean's reacting to Thomas in our sessions proves their love for one another. I certainly think it's having a large impact on the treatment so far.
Being on the outside, it's hard not knowing what we're going to encounter next within the mind. If I'm honest, it puts me on edge. Yet, if you do succeed, you'll have played a part in changing history forever. If I'm being truthful, I don't know how this process will affect you. Let's both plan for the worst and hope for the best. Well, look at that. Excellent work, Restorer. Now that you have the artifact, return to the case and let's explore this second core memory.
A large bundle of postcards just laying in a pile on the front porch.
This is called a victory shaft. Apparently it can be seen from miles around and control the central operation to the industrial area. Each of the 4 working pillars were pivotal in Pinwell's economic success, and all of them, working to full capacity, was required to create a sustainable export operation.
France, Portugal, Cyprus, America. They could have been sent at any time. Years worth of mail and not a single reply. That must be so much harder to deal with. All in order. What a journey. What an adventure. The gap seems so much bigger now, though. Hopefully it'll all be over soon.
It's currently just after 11 p.m. I was called out to see my patient. I was told they were getting very upset and shouting about some postcards. I had them in my possession and took them with me immediately. I think it's worth noting that until this point, I hadn't used them in any of our sessions or even spoken of them. It's fantastic that there's still a strong enough emotional connection with the past to recall such a poignant memory. I only hope there are some more recent memories that might make this method more relevant as we progress. That's all for tonight. Hopefully more progress will be made tomorrow.
Hello?
Hey, it's me. How you doing?
I'm sorry, who is this?
It's me, Jim.
I'm sorry. I didn't recognize your voice for a moment there.
That's okay, don't worry about it. Anyway, how are you?
Good, actually. I've been painting again. Quite well, actually, you know.
That's great news. How's your new home? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm sorry, I have to go.
You're going the right way. I don't actually think there's a wrong way. I mean, you could turn around, but that would just be back that way. Don't go back that way. Unless you want to.
Hey, I've been asking around, and I've been doing a little research. I'm not happy about this whole thing. There has to be a better way for you, for all of us. Just say the word.
One more day and then freedom. One more day to the smell of the sea. One more sleep and then home.
I'm so glad I got to make it over this Christmas. You seem to have settled in well. What are you doing?
I'm trying to wind up this music box, but it just won't work.
That isn't a music box. It's a cushion.
Don't be ridiculous. It's clearly a music box.
Okay, well, tell me what the music box looks like.
It's wooden, brown, with a ballet dancer inside, or
Is that what you think you can see?
I don't want to talk about it anymore. She was here. And that matters to me. Please. Just, please, go away. Leave me alone.
His hands were shaking with fear. There was no use trying to hide it. The lamp handle was rattling and the light was dancing all over the place, making it look far more scary than it actually was. "You okay?" asked Andy, trying not to laugh. "What are we doing?" barked Rob. "Looking for the knocker, remember?" "He must not be here," Andrew offered disappointedly. "How do you know?" whispered Rob. "'Cause he can smell fear. If he was in here, you'd be a goner already." At that moment, 3 loud bangs echoed through the whole mine shaft. "Oh, crap!" cried Rob. "What the hell was that?" Andrew said nothing. Again, 3 loud bangs, followed by 3 more. "They're getting closer!" Rob yelled. More banging and more banging. Rob felt paralyzed, and Andrew just stood behind him, saying nothing. The banging got closer and closer, until a figure could be seen. Something. What was it? Moving closer and closer, banging all the time. "Oh, God! What are we gonna do?" cried Rob. And just then, the figure came into the light. It was their little brother. "Harry!" yelled Rob. Andrew fell to the floor laughing. "That was priceless, Rob."
I love the sound of the river.
Okay, so here are the personal items that you asked for.
Excellent. Thank you. Have you dated them with the description labels I gave you?
Of course, I went through it all. It should be pretty accurate.
Good. This will be a great help.
How is he actually doing? I just wanted to...
Treatment is ongoing, Mr. Fletcher. You know that.
But I'd really like to see him.
Come back tomorrow, and I'll ensure that you get to spend some time together. But for now, visiting hours are over.
Just keep on taking pictures of these areas. When you're finished in here, move around into the other room. Just try and make sure you've got everything.
Profits were not being met for the second year running. A spokesperson from the